What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. Today, what is today? Wednesday. Wednesday. And this is a bit of an update because it's going mad in here. Right, so, last video you would have seen us wheel this one in. And I am itching to get my hands on this. Itching. There's quite a few people that have had a ZZR in the past as well, and apparently they're a blinding bike. It's a bit of a grandad bike. It's not like a scratcher's sort of racer's bike or whatever, but you can do a lot of miles on them, and the engine on these is brilliant apparently. More than enough for what I need. So anyway, this is going to be the main focus just for now. Asbo is still sitting in the corner and stuff has started turning up, so I just wanted to do a catch up as to what the plan is, what's going to be happening and what you can expect to see over the next few weeks. So, today I've had a delivery in here, that green one there. So some of the gaskets have started turning up. I've got a base gasket, a crankcase gasket. I've got loads of other stuff on order as well, which we'll get to in a sec. But basically what I want to do is to just get this back on the road, road worthy. And I've been going around doing a little bit of inventory, ordering up a load of bits and pieces. And I'm hoping they're going to be here sort of tomorrow and Friday, so on Saturday we can have at it. So, what's the plans? Well, as you can see from all the stuff behind me, some assembly is needed. It is. First and foremost, I'm not making anything for this bike. It's going back as stock. Because as stock, they was all right, actually. You know, it had the tag of fastest production bike on the planet at one point. It's going to be reasonably quick. Suspension is going to be all outdated and everything else. So I don't know what they're going to be like to ride. But we're going to find out. So this is going to go back as stock. Not making anything, not unless I have to. And then I'm just thinking little brackets and doohickeys and stuff like that. So, and I've got everything I need to make that happen, I think. Have I got everything? Yeah, I think I have actually. So that's what's going to happen. So, where do I start? Well, okay, where do I start? The first thing, it needs a bloody good clean. It really does. It's covered in schmoo and snot and crud and goo and everything. It is in a bit of a 2 and 8. So, it needs to be cleaned. It needs to be all degreased. It needs to be pressure washed, and I can't do that until the engine's back together because there's a big hole there, and then there's 4 more big holes there. There's an even bigger hole over there. So, all that lot needs doing. So, engine is going together first. Now, I am not a mechanic. I don't know how many times I've said this, but I'm going to say it again. I am not a mechanic. I'm a welder fabricator. That's what I do. At work, they call me a model shop technician, which is just a posh name for a welder fabricator. And I have never done a complete engine rebuild, ever. I mean, I've done, you know, stuff like changing the clutch and swapping out oil and, you know, coolers and radiators and all that sort of stuff. I've done bits and pieces, but I've never had a whole engine apart. And I ain't doing that on this one either. Basically, the engine is going back together again. In some of these boxes, Jamie has already done a truckload of work, and he's the fella who had the bike before. So when he got it, it had really bad compression. So obviously piston rings, they were shot, basically. So in here, he's got 4 pistons, which is already all done. Piston rings is on it. He's checked the gap in the bores and all that sort of stuff. So he's done a lot of the preparation work. He just needs sticking all back in again. So he sorted that lot out, and he's also done some other bits and pieces, like the rear disc needed swapping out. He broke off a bleed nipple on the rear caliper, so he's got another one. I don't know what state it's in, whether it's been painted or not. I haven't found that bit yet, but it's in here somewhere. And, you know, he started cleaning up heads and all that sort of stuff, and then the whole project just sort of stopped, basically. The wiring loom has all been swapped out for another one because the first one was butchered. You know, like 5 immobilizers later and a set of heated grips and a this, that and the other, whatever. It was just in a mess, and rather than trying to repair everything, he just replaced it because it was a more sensible thing to do. So, but as far as the engine goes, the clutch, the gearbox, all that stuff is all good. It just needs sticking back together. So I've ordered all the bits to get that doing. So there's a crankcase cover gasket. There's a gasket for the clutch cover. I've got a base gasket and a head gasket coming. Well, actually, I've got the base gasket. I'm just waiting on a head gasket. And I've got the crankcase cover gasket. We're just waiting on the other stuff now. There was a bent valve to it as well. He's already got another valve to go in. And I did get myself some, where is it? Here we go. Got myself a lapping stick and some, you know, lapping paste and whatnot so we can bed the valves in. So we can sort all that stuff out. He cleaned up all the head and everything else with like brass brushes, so I've got some brass brushes coming. That did a really good job actually. I'll have to show you that when we're doing it. But it did do a really good job. So we've got all that sort of stuff coming. I've also had to order a few tools, some of which I've got here. So there's a, I've already got a valve compressor tool. Have I? Yeah, a spring compressor tool. I've ordered a set of piston ring compressors so we can get the rings in. The only trouble is on these old bikes it's like 2 up, 2 down. So I need 2 of them, so I've had to order another one. And stupidly enough, I think I've ordered an extra one. I don't know if I have or not. So if it turns up and there are 3, we will be doing a giveaway. Somebody else can have that. What else is there? I'm trying to think what else I've got. Oh yeah, we've got, he's already got a service kit for the clutch, master and slave cylinder. So that'll all be getting done. That's a quick and easy job, I think. I've also got coming a service kit for the carbs because they're gonna need it. They do look a bit grubby, so they've all got to go through the ultrasonic and all that, you know, basically get cleaned up, and I'll change all the consumable bits inside it, and that'll all be good. All the hoses and everything else look fine, so we ain't got to do all that. What else have I got? I did have some other stuff. Bearings and that all seems fine. Brake pads I haven't checked, but we'll do that when we get to it, basically. I'm not fussing about that. I think that's about it, really. Oh, there's loads of like black plastic stuff that just looks horrible. So I've got some of that detailing stuff just to blacken it up again, basically. I've already had a chat with Jack, because I'm going to want to do a paint job on this, because this is all glitzy, spangly, sparkly, everything. It looks like a tart's handbag on a Saturday night on town, basically. I'm not riding around on that. So that's all getting going. I've got an idea on colour. You're probably going to hate it, it's just going to be boring, but, you know, it's going to freshen everything up. So the idea is, Monday to Friday, because like I said, I've got everything else going on in here in a minute. Monday to Friday, I'm concentrating on my own little business, because I have to. I've got to get some more stock on the shelves. So Monday to Friday in the mornings, before I go off to my main work, I'm in here making more bike racks and security anchors and all that sort of stuff. I need to fill some of these boxes up, just so I've got the stock there, that if an order comes in, I can just go, right, there you go, see ya. Because that is kind of the bread and butter. That's what keeps the lights on in the shed, basically. And, you know, it don't make much at all, but it keeps the lights on, it keeps the rent paid, so that is important. And I don't want to be in a position of having to get an order and then make stuff because I haven't got it. That's just really, really bad. That would be really bad. So that's what's happening Monday to Friday. In the weekends, basically Sunday's spoken for, because that's a family day. It's the only time I get to see Sam, really, because we work on opposite sort of shifts, basically. So, you know, the only time I ever see her during the week is first thing in the morning for a cuppa, and when she's snoring the buns off at night time. So that's it. So Sunday's spoken for. So that basically leaves me Saturday. Apart from maybe this weekend, I might come in on Sunday. I haven't told her that bit yet, but yeah, we'll see. We'll get there. So the idea is, like I say, I've never done an engine rebuild. I haven't got a manual. Simon Rolls, bless him, he did send me a link to an online manual, which I've had a scoot through, but I've got like a tablet, you know, quite a big tablet. But I like just having a book in my hands. I don't know why. You know, you don't need anything else to read a book. You know, it ain't got to be charged up or anything. And yeah, I just like having a book. So I'm probably going to order one. Jamie did say he thought he had one, I haven't had a call from him yet to say, oh, I found it, I'll bring it with me. So I'm just going to order one anyway. But what we're going to do is on Saturday, Jamie is coming down. So you'll get to see him on the telly and whatnot, but he is going to start me off in the right direction. So, like the barrels all need cleaning up, the spritzing up and sticking back on. The pistons need to go in. He's going to give us a hand doing all that stuff, and he's going to show us how he cleaned all like some of the head and all that sort of stuff up with the brass brushes. And I'm just going to mimic what he does. He's also going to show us how to change the, valve stem seals. I've got them coming as well. He's going to show us how to stick one in, and then he's going to leave me to do the other 16 or whatever. Or 40, I don't know. What is it, 4 apart? Something like that. So he's going to show us how to do the first one, make sure I'm happy with it, and I'm just going to carry on and do the rest of them, because I want to learn how to do all this sort of stuff. And like I say, I ain't done it before, so it's going to be quite cool. He's also going to show us how to lap in one of the valves. That is something I have done. That was ages ago, and I probably did it wrong. So he's just going to show me how he does it, and then he's going to leave me to do the rest of it. And if I can get all of this stuff done, he's going to be back in on a Sunday, and we're basically going to shove the head on. That's it. So we can get the cams, and the cams is all in here. Get the cams in, get the timing set up, button everything down, so it's just the case covers and stuff to go on. And that way I can basically seal the whole engine, and then move on to the next bit. And the next bit is basically just cleaning. This whole thing needs to be cleaned. I mean, you've got it down to this sort of state. I mean, it ain't going to take much just to give it a once over and all that sort of stuff. I've got some old petrol. That's probably going to get used. I've also got some of this stuff, which is actually really, really, really good. I quite like this stuff. And if I run out of this, I've always got like fairy liquid, which again is really good. But basically, just going to brush it all on, get in all the nooks and crannies, and then it's just going to get pressure washed. But everything needs to be sealed up in order for me to do that. I don't want water getting into the engine. It's not supposed to be there. So that's what I want to do. We'll just clean the whole damn thing, get it all nice looking, or at least so it's presentable and it's a bit more fun to work on, because you don't get covered in crap. And then we can just start piecing everything back together again. And largely this is an assembly job. I mean, some bits could do with a lick of paint. Whether they get it or not, I don't really know. I'm not fussed about it looking like new. It's a showroom model. It's this, that and the other. Stuff all that, I don't really care. Basically, I want it back as a presentable, working properly, everything set as it should be, bike that I can go and use during summer. And it's a gorgeous day outside today. It is lovely. That's a kind of jump on your bike and come back at tea time type day. So that's what I'm hoping to do. Like I say, I ain't going to be making anything. It is just a case of clean everything up, put it back together again and use the bugger. That's what it was built for in the first place. Oh look, why would you, of all the colours of paint you could have you chose this. Who does that to her? But well, I suppose unless it's a girl. She'd love all that. Matches her handbag. So, Asbo. He's the other reason I want to get this done and get it done quickly. Yes, I want a bike. I haven't had a bike in ages because I had to sell my bike in, that was the Fireblow. I had to sell that in 2018 to get the business funded and move down here and build all the racking and all that stuff. That's what the proceeds for that from that sale was. So I've not had a bike since then, apart from one that's been on a bench, and I'm desperate to get back on one again. This is the longest I've ever been without a bike since the age of 16. So I want to get this done and done quickly so I can get back on Asbo, because he is going around a racetrack this year for a number of reasons. One, it's fun. Two, it's a day out. Well, that's not really a reason. But three, there is a load of stuff on that needs testing. So we've already got one thing that we need to sort out, which is obviously the chain run. You would have seen that from a couple of videos. At the minute, I ain't got one, and I could really do with one if I want to have a go on it. So basically he needs to get back on the bench as soon as possible, so this lot just needs to get done. I'm not mucking about, we're just having at it. Hopefully we ain't going to come across any big problems, but we shall see. So Asbo's sitting in the corner, and we kind of got a solution. There was loads of people that chipped in the comments as well. That was really good. And I do appreciate that, so thank you ever so much for jumping in. But we've got a couple of solutions here, which is like fairly obvious ones and not really hard to do. So on Sunday, Steve-O is bringing his 520 kit down. On Jixit, he's decided to run a 520 setup, which is basically what we use during racing days. It's a lightweight version of the front, rear sprocket and chain. You know, it's just slightly narrower basically. But because Jixit has got a GSX 1000, well actually it's not 1000 is it, it's a 750. That spoiled his day. But it's got a Gixxer rear end married to a Bandit frame. Everything was kind of off a little bit, so he had to run the 520 to get everything to line up, and he had to run an offset sprocket on the front, which is offset inboard by 5mm. So he's bringing his front sprocket, his rear sprocket and his chain down on Sunday. So as soon as this is done, or if I get a spare minute, I can stick it on Asbo and see if it's going to work, which I think it's going to get us most of the way there. I don't think it's going to get me all of the way there, if I'm honest. But until I actually get it up on the bench, get everything lined up where I want it to be and actually have that kit on it, I don't know. I think it's going to help, but we shall see. The other option that I've got is to put a notch in the inside edge of the left side frame tube, basically, just to give me a little bit of space. That's not the only bit that I've got to clear though, because I'm running a larger rear tyre. It's a Bandit 1200 rim with a bigger rear tyre. I think it's a 180, something like that. So I've obviously got to clear the tyre as well. And tyres do deflect when you're cornering a bit and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So he's going to squidge a bit, he's going to get wider. We just need clearance. I need to make sure it's all good. So, you know, as soon as that kit comes down, I can have a look-see and, you know, just get my head around what needs doing. And whilst I'm doing this, I can come up with a plan for that and how I'm going to tackle it. Because as soon as this is done and on the road, he's off the bench, Asbo's back on it and we're cracking on. Asbo remains the main project. That's what I want to be doing. This has just interrupted things just for a little bit because I want a bike again. I am really hoping that that tooling turns up. Oh, I really want to get into this. So today's Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, I am expecting stuff, and on the thingy it's also an expected delivery, Thursday or Friday. So if it hasn't all turned up, I'll have a word with the fellas in the office because they're not here at the weekend. So anything turned up, I'll just get them to dump it in here for me and we'll have a look-see. But hell or high water, I'm getting stuck into this on the Saturday with Jamie's help. If we can get some stuff on it, that would be mega. You know, I don't know, we just have to sort of see how we go really. But that's what the plans are. So hopefully you get to see where we're going from this point forwards, and what you can expect to see on the channel. There isn't really that much on the internet about working on ZZRs, so I will try and cover everything that I do, as I always do. And if I get stuff wrong, you can shout at me and berate me and have a bit of a giggle. So, you know, there we go. That's what's happening. I don't think there's anything else. I hope there ain't, because I do need to crack on and start making some hangers because the day's getting on already. So, yeah, I can't think of anything else to add really, but that's where we are. So anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you ever so much for the people that have got in touch that have got one of these beasties. I am probably going to end up picking your brains. Or if you've had one at some point, there's going to be little nuances and, you know, little fussy things about them and, you know, good points and bad points and all that sort of stuff. So I'd love to hear, you know, what they are so I don't get any surprises. So if you feel like chipping in, have at it. The comment section is down below. But thank you ever so much for watching. Do hope you're well and staying safe. We'll see you on the next one. Laters! Right, I need to get all this out of the way.